Hi everybody, this is John DePietro. We are here in Douglas, Massachusetts with Miss Michelle Fontaine joining us for this edition of Top Entrepreneur. Michelle, welcome to the show, and tell us who you've got there for co-stars in this show.
Well, thank you, John. This is Sally and Trixie.
Sally and Trixie.
One of the benefits of having your own job, being an entrepreneur, is you can have companions that you want with you.
And you can bring your dogs to work, not just on Bring Your Dog to Work Day, right?
That's right. I just bring them up to the second floor.
Ah, okay. So when we hear the little pitter-patter of feet, we know it's not raindrops that are falling on the roof, but
That's right.
but that. Michelle, tell us the name of your business and what you do.
Okay. Well, let me just start with some history. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. In the 1980s, I had a craft store called Cozy Corner Crafts in Linwood, Mass. It was fairly successful too. I sold craft supplies and I also taught 40, mostly women, crafts every week. But I really didn't have the business sense at that point. And also had some obstacles that came up, such as all of a sudden being a single mother with 3 children. So I got into the workforce and I became an admin for a bank. Worked my way up to being an executive assistant to a president of a corporation, and then transitioned over to marketing. At that point, I knew I needed to further my education.
Okay, let me stop you for a quick second, because first you owned a business, and then you ran into some stuff, and then you became an employee.
That's right.
Was that spirit of owning your own business always like still burning deep down inside?
Absolutely, and so many people along the way said, Michelle, you need to have your own business. But at that point, I really couldn't, because I had things I had to take care of.
Okay.
Life got in the way, and it just wasn't the right time. But I never lost the desire to have my own business. Okay.
And do you find that with a lot of other entrepreneurial people that you meet, they have that flame that's always burning of doing their own thing?
Yes. I mean, it's a very common thing that you find in people that want to have their own business. They don't care how hard they have to work. They have something in mind. They have a dream, and they just want to make it work. So that was always in the back of my mind. So I went back to school as an adult, working full-time. I went to school full-time nights as well.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to get myself in the position where I could, again, become an entrepreneur.
And call your own shots.
And call my own shots and be successful. Have everything I needed. So I finished my associate's degree at Becker College. Went on to Assumption College and got my bachelor's and my MBA. Went to school 6 years straight at night.
Wow. That's a commitment.
That was a real commitment. I was very tired.
You ever look back now and say, how did I ever do it?
Oh boy, when I was getting to the end of the MBA program, I had gotten honors all the way through, honor society twice and everything else. But boy, that last semester for the MBA, I was really tired. But I knew it would be worth it. And then again, in 2000, I started my own business called M. Fontaine Productions. I was still working full-time, so this was a web design development, and I was getting interested in photography also.
So how do we get to where we're at right now?
Where we're at right now is, so that started in 2000. So now, 2 years ago, another obstacle got in my path, but this one pushed me into being an entrepreneur again. It was the right time at the right place. And now I started in 2008, I started Lamiche Productions. And again, offering marketing communication services. But now I've got decades of experience behind me and the education. Okay,
so you've described situations where you've faced obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
And would you agree that there are people that are going to think of owning their own business and say, well, what if? How do you answer that question?
Mm-hmm. Well, I once took a course years ago called Science of Success. I was a young
Science of Success.
Science of Success. It was a college course, and it always stuck in my mind. And it's very much like you read about and you hear about inspirational speakers. They all have the same message. If you have a goal and a dream, don't let it go. If you're focused on where you want to be, you will get there. Your path may jig and jog, but you will get there.
Zigzag, etc. So basically, a dream delayed is not a dream denied.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Exactly.
With that. So who's your customer? Who do you, what type of work do you provide?
I provide provide services to mostly businesses in the Blackstone Valley. I'll do their web design, their graphic design, their internet strategies. I'll do their Facebook ads, their Google ad campaigns. I provide workshops and teaching for small businesses. We do it here in our Douglas workshop studio, and we...
There they are, your co-stars.
Yeah, my co-stars. And my biggest client is actually Wallace Cove, and that's located, we're on the premises of Wallace Cove. Our office and studio is on the second floor of a private residence in the middle of 100 acres of forest on Whiten Reservoir.
So how does that give you the mental frame of mind to be creative?
Oh goodness, if I get stuck, I just walk out the back door and listen to the birds singing in the lake in the backyard and breathe in a little bit and say, okay, now I gotta get back to work.
Okay. And your commute is how many steps?
Oh, I think about 20 feet.
20 feet,
Yeah, about
okay.
20 feet altogether.
Now, let me ask you this question about the entrepreneurial style. There will be people that say, I just feel like I have more security when I work for a big company. How do you deal with that?
Well, that's certainly an obstacle. That's definitely an obstacle. It's very fearful not to have health insurance or to have to come up with $400 or $500 a month for health insurance. And then it's also very fearful to think, well, gee, everything I bring in, 30% of it has to go to Uncle Sam. So you have to come to terms with that kind of thing and figure out how you're going to make it work. But once you do, there's really nothing like it. It's really nothing like being your own boss.
So what would you say to a person that, may be a single parent or may have overcome some obstacles or may be facing obstacles right now that's on the fence between alleged security, and we say alleged because it really is alleged,
It really is.
and starting their own business? What kind of advice would you give to them?
I would say, know what your dream is. Write it down. What do you picture yourself doing in your own business? And work the steps backward. What do you need to be prepared when you get there? What education do you need? You may not be able to have that position right now, but you can prepare for it. And that's what science of success is. Break it down into tangible steps that you can take to get where you want to be. And if life throws you a curveball and you find yourself out of your position anyway, then do what you can to give it a shot. Pull your resources together and make it work as best you can.
Okay. As far as technology is concerned, you're really not limited by geography anymore, right? I mean, I look over there and I see a big laptop and another computer. Do you deal with people all over the country or all over the world or communicate that way?
Well, I don't. However, later on in life, it's very possible that we could take an RV, as you just like you, John, you love your RVs, and I could take my equipment and work from my office. But we live in the Blackstone Valley, so we really gear ourselves to the small businesses that we can go and meet and see. But no, I'm certainly not limited by geography.
How can people reach you, Michelle?
They can reach me at www.lamicheproductions.com.
Want to spell that? Yeah, okay.
LAMICH productions.com, all one word. And the way I came up with my name, people ask how Lamiche came into being. I had M. Fontaine, which was my name, but now my partner is actually Laurie. So Laurie and Michelle became La Miche, not Michela because I'm French, not Polish.
Michelle. And that basically is, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story.
Yes, it is.
Michelle, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Top Entrepreneur, and we want to wish you great success in your future endeavors.
Thank you.